Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Slamet Mumbi and I am making this video to accomplish the midterm task of cross-cultural understanding. So here I am going to talk about some difference of cultures between American cultures and Indonesian ones. Okay, so let's get started. The first one is about addressing someone. In Indonesia, when we address or call someone, sometimes we call them by considering their age. For example, we call someone older by Mas, Mbak, Pak, or Bu. But in the United States, we call them just by name. Sometimes it's by their surname. For example, there is someone named Sarah Johnson. We call them Miss Johnson. But sometimes when we are already close, and even if they are our, for example, mother-in-laws, we still call them Sarah. Okay, that's about addressing someone. And then the second difference of culture is when we shake our hands. In Indonesia, sometimes we call someone hands like softly, but in the United States, we must shake someone's hand boldly, yeah, strongly, whoever they are. Okay, and then the next culture difference is about when we enter someone's house. In Indonesia, we usually put off our shoes in order to be polite. But in America, you can in the United States, you can just enter their house by still putting on your shoes. Yeah, even though the floor might be clean, but you can just uh, put on your shoes. Okay, and then the next cultural difference between America and Indonesia is when about using left hand. So in Indonesia, sometimes using left hand, for example, when eating or when giving something or when receiving something, it will be considered as impolite. But in America, you can use either right hand or left hand to do anything. And the next cultural difference between America and Indonesia is about being on time. In Indonesia, for example, when we have an appointment at 9 o'clock, sometimes at 9, we are still getting ourselves ready. Not, but in America, when we have an appointment at 9 o'clock, and then at 8 or maybe less than that, we have already on the way being there. So yeah, United States American people, they really value someone's time. So there is no, what is that? In Indonesia, we call them as jam karet. United States really value time, and people should always be on time, if not in time. Okay, and then the next cultural difference between Indonesia and United States is when in queuing. When queuing in Indonesia, sometimes people are like this. They stand in line so narrowly, but because when the people queuing are like this, they will be afraid if this empty space would be filled in by someone else. So they queuing they queue this way. But in the United States, people stand in line when queuing like this way. They don't. They're not afraid if someone will fill the gaps between, because everyone respects respects others others, what is that, turn, so they won't rob someone's space in order to get uh, the services, in order to get serviced first. Okay, and the next cultural difference in America, in the United States and Indonesia is about the owning of guns or weapons. In Indonesia, only uh, only police or maybe national army that can own certain weapons, especially guns. But in the United States, sometimes civilians can also own guns, for example, as long as they have the need to. Indonesia, maybe civilian can also own, but maybe it needs really, what is that, special permission. And oh yeah, about weapon, United States or American people sometimes also bring knives when they just casually play or hang out sometimes, maybe for protection. While in Indonesia, we are permitted to have knives, but we only use that for certain needs. For example, to process the vegetables or fruits, or or yeah, do something lah. But we don't bring knives when we play around. Okay, and the next cultural difference between America or United States and Indonesia is about having housewives assistant. In Indonesia, sometimes rich people, they they tend to have this housewife's personal assistant. For example, she or he is the ones to take care of the housewife's chores, like cleaning the house, washing the clothes, and maybe cooking the meal. But in the United States, even if you are a rich people, sometimes you still do the chores by yourself. You don't hire someone as your personal housewife's assistant. I guess they are more, what is that, independent uh, and can do something by themselves. By themselves. Okay, and the last but not least cultural difference between Indonesia and the United States is about vehicles. So you see, in Indonesia, almost every family at least have one motorcycle. While in the United States, motorcycle are so hard to find. I mean, on by people, because it's maybe only certain people have the motorcycle in order to be stylish, or it's for their hobbies. Unlike in Indonesia, that we use motorcycle for our daily lives mobility. But on the other hand, in Indonesia, sometimes only rich people tend to uh, tend to be able to have or drive car. But uh, in the United States, ironically, that almost everyone can have or drive a car, because there, uh, and averagely, or maybe when we do comparison, uh, car car is less expensive. I mean, for American people or United States, car is like just a common vehicle to own, because even Indonesia, we call homeless as someone who has no job, has no home, and has no shelter. But in America or United States, homeless can also be someone that has a car. They are just maybe they don't have a house or home, but they can have still can have a car. Yeah. uh, Maybe that's in the Western or advanced country that having a car is just a common thing, but they sometimes mm, they sometimes use public transportation, uh, unlike us that when we can drive a car it's something that is luxurious. Okay, well, I guess that's about the cultural difference between Indonesia and the United States. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.